Hey guys, it's me Dina or Porel and welcome on my channel. Today we are going to do a book review because as I said I wanted to do more book reviews and yeah, today I am going to do the book review on one of probably on the booktube known books because as I've seen in the recent months, the Osman books are very quite popular among the booktube, and I don't recall myself to be a booktuber, not at all, because my channel is very diverse, but I like to do book reviews because as I said in the first book review, I like to read books and give my opinion on books, and I can influence your opinion because maybe you don't like a book and I can influence that opinion to try it out. So, as I said, in the recent months, I've seen that the Osman books are very quite popular because, as you probably known, Heartstopper is now on Netflix, and if you don't know what Heartstopper is, now it's also a Netflix show about two teenager boys that fall in love, basically the soulmate trope. Well, the book, okay, it was firstly a book and then adapted in a Netflix adaptation, but the story was made by Alice Oseman, and she is very well known for her books Solitaire, that was her first book, but also, as I've mentioned, Heartstopper, that is a graphic novel. You can also read it for free on Webtoon and Tapas, but you can also buy the physical copies like the volumes. As of right now there are only 4 volumes with the fifth that is going to appear in 2023, and that is going to be the last volume because Heartstopper is going to end because there are one more chapter to go, but like the chapters are based on parts, so you still have quite a long ride. But anyway, we don't really talk about Heartstopper today, as you've seen in the title. We are going to talk about the sequel story to Heartstopper, and that is Nick and Charlie. I'm going to tell you basically my review, my personal review on the book, and then I'm going to give you a summary with spoilers. Again, it's kind of a short story, so I'm going to try to make it as okay as possible, even if it's going to be with spoilers. This is my review on Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. So, as I've seen already, Nick and Charlie is a short story, a noveletta, a solitaire noveletta that is basically like a sequel story to Heartstopper. So basically there are these characters, Nick and Charlie, and this story revolves around their pre-young adulthood era. So they are basically still teenagers and they are trying to come to the conclusion that they will become adults and soon they will go to college. And this story basically revolves this idea because Nick is the older between the two. He is the first to go to college, but I'm going to talk more a bit later when I'm going to give you the summary. But now I am going to show you the book. I have the UK version because there is also a US version that actually released recently. It's not very different, but like the cover, from what I've understood to be, it's different. Now I'm going to show you my version that I have. So here is the book. You probably already seen it if you know about the Osman books. Let me try to focus. And this is the back, and here you can see all of the Osman books. There isn't Heartstopper because, as I said, it's a graphic novel and it's different. Oh, and also what I like about this book, and about this winter that it's also a noveletta, solitaire noveletta actually. It has mini illustrations. It doesn't have like a lot of illustrations like Heartstopper does, but has mini illustrations. As you can see, the chapters, basically when it says it's a new chapter, there is basically this black page with like designs. This is, for example, the second chapter announcement, and there are rainbows. I don't know if you can quite see, but yeah, and I'm trying to search for like some illustrations to show you because they are adorable. So yeah, you can see illustrations. There aren't on every page. There are like periodically, let's say like this. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, my review for this book is going to be 4.6 out of 5 stars. So now I am going to give you the summary because that's what you are waiting for. This is like the important stuff and if you should read it or not. So is it a sequel story to Heartstopper? We like come like from Heartstopper, and you kind of have to know the main characters of Heartstopper. So we have Nick and Charlie, basically like the lovers, and there is also Tao and Elle that are also basically another couple in Heartstopper. Then we have Aled, and then we have Tori or Victoria, but basically her name is Tori, Charlie's sister. These are basically the main characters in Nick and Charlie, but also like Nick's mom, Sarah. So yeah, these are like the main characters. Basically, you don't really have to know a lot about Heartstopper because the book already tells you what you really need to know about this book. So Nick is basically in his senior year. He's in his 13th year because the story, if you didn't quite catch the deal, it's set in UK, and from my acknowledgement with Heartstopper universe, it's set in UK, but also like Osman's books are set in UK, I believe, because she is in UK. So yeah, it's normal to be set in UK, but that's beyond the point. So Nick is in his senior year, Charlie is with a year prior to him, so he's the 12th year. They are at the end, like they are preparing to finish their years, and Nick is going to college, and he is going to this college where he is going to be like, or like he dreams to be in this rugby team because he also plays rugby. And Charlie is very sad because he is left out because all of his friends almost are a year bigger than him. So basically almost all of his friends are in the 13th year while he is still in the 12th year, and he's sad because he'll remain basically the last one to be left, and he basically feels left out, and he hates when Nick basically tells him about his college and how he's happy to go to college. Basically a very normal thing to do. Basically you start to feel sad that your boyfriend or your significant other basically talks about university, and all you do is just listen to him or her or them again, and you just stay there and you wish they would just shut up. Yeah, so Charlie feels left out. But he can't quite bring himself to say this to Nick because he knows that Nick basically loves rugby, and his dream is to go to this college to do his dream job and his passion basically, because rugby is his passion. he goes a lot with these mental states and this mental stuff that he doesn't know if he's prepared for long distance, because they talk that they will have long distance. And in the book there is this thing that is recalled with the Polaroids. Basically Nick wants to make as many photos as possible so he can basically put them in his dorm room, yeah, in his dorm bedroom, whatever. And Charlie, at the same time, he's happy because Nick does that, and at the same time he's annoyed because he just wishes Nick to be there with him forever and ever. But of course, life goes on. Life goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. There is also this funny thing that Charlie has. He has a Tumblr blog where people just basically give him questions about what to do in this situation, because kind of Charlie is a bit kind of famous on Tumblr, someone like that. Basically the questions become more and more invasive because the questions basically gather around the fact that they are very inappropriate, because they ask, like, the Anons ask about his and Nick's, sexually life at some point, and basically Charlie just deletes them because he's very uncomfortable answering them. But besides that and beyond that, there are also, like, not asks, but like points that Anons make that long distance will not work out, and Charlie starts to become more and more depressed. Anyway, at some point they go to a party where Nick and Charlie have a fight, a very big fight, that's when Charlie just lashes on his boyfriend because he is a jerk and he is left out. Basically that's the summary. Nick gets angry and then they lash out, and basically they don't talk about 2 weeks, which is a lot for them because they talk every day, and 2 weeks without talking to each other is just wow for them. But the things get resolved in the end. Basically they Tori finds Nick's camera in Charlie's bedroom or living room or somewhere like that, and they think what should they do, because Charlie is still mad but wants to talk with Nick because he doesn't want to break up with him, because they had this fight and both of them thought that they broke up, but they didn't. They just thought that the other wants to break up. It's a big miscommunication, I know, it's kind of silly. And in the end, Charlie basically gives the Polaroids to Nick in the post mail, and they meet at some some festival that their school does, festival, and they basically come back together even though they weren't broke out or something. And then things escalate and things get hot, spicy. And the story ends with basically Nick being in Charlie's bed and them just spending the time together, the remaining time. It remains forever and ever, I guess, until Nick goes to college. I know this summary is basically kind of bullshit, but I wanted to omit like big plot points because I still want to give like a point of mystery. But yeah, I'm going to tell you why I gave kind of this rating, because I sound that I quite actually enjoyed Nick and Charlie. I enjoyed, but the fight that Nick and Charlie had was so childish. Like, I know from where Charlie goes, like being scared to tell your partner your fears. That's totally valid. I also experienced that a lot. But the fight was so childish, and Charlie was so freaking drunk when that happened. And like Nick was also basically a big pussy for not basically, okay, I understand that you got angry, but for freak's sake, Nick, for freak's sake, your boyfriend was drunk. When we are drunk, we don't know what the freak we say. So basically they are big dum-dums, and this story was basically a big miscommunication and a big fight, but I enjoyed it. It was silly, it was fun. I actually like a lot the illustrations in the book, as I said, and the last chapter is probably my favorite one because it's the funniest one ever. And can we appreciate that the last chapter, at least chapter 6, has like peaches? And if you are on the internet, you know what peaches means. Yeah, they basically have the hanky-panky in this chapter. It's not detailed, but you get the idea because it's described. Not very like descriptive, but you know. And there is also this like illustration with them after the activity. And I'm trying to find, oh, I found it. So here it is. It's adorable. I freaking love it. Basically, this is my favorite page in the whole book. For this, I brought the book. There's also like at the end of the book, I discovered that this is not a thing with this book only, but like also like this winter, that is basically another solitaire novella that also it's revolved around the Heartstopper universe and the Heartstopper novels. But at the end of the book they have like not meet, but like get to know the characters. So basically here is Nick, and you basically get some information about him, like his name, his age, what he likes, what he doesn't like. And we also have this for Charlie, and look at him, look at my boy, he's adorable. He's adorable, like I adore the illustrations. Oh, you really need to read this book. If you are into the Heartstopper universe and basically the Osman verse books, and you want to know what Charlie and Nick are up in the future after the events of Heartstopper, do it. This book is basically a slice of life book. It's funny, especially the last chapter, as I said. It's basically an angst with a happy ending. But again, the fight was very childish from both parties, and basically it's kind of Sao's fault. As I said, I omit like the points because this is a very short story, even if it has around like, I don't know, I forgot how many pages there are in this book. Yeah, there aren't a lot. There are basically 159 pages. This if you omit like the last pages with like the illustrations, get to know the characters a little bit, and some recommendations from more Alice's books. This was my review on Nick and Charlie, solitaire novella, noveletta. Yeah, basically this was my review on Nick and Charlie. As I said, if you really want to know what Nick and Charlie are up to date in the future after the events of Heartstopper, or are you basically into the Osman books and you want to know what this book is about, I recommend you give it a try, because even if it's kind of bad-ish, even if it's like, yeah, with the fluffy, it's basically fluff in this book. This is basically fluff, but also a bit of angst. I recommend you do it because it's adorable. especially the last chapters, I would say. So yeah, this was my review. I hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe with the bell to receive a notification every time I post, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and from now on Tumblr also. I was Tina, and we will see each other in the next video. Goodbye!